Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me? Testing one, two, three. Testing, testing. Okay, so I do get checks. Okay. So, welcome on, welcome on, welcome back to all of my platforms. I greatly appreciate you guys so much for tuning in. So, if you're new here, thank you so much for tuning in to me. I greatly appreciate you. And if you're a returning girl, hey girl, hey Bookie Bud. Thank you so much for tuning in, Bookie. So today I'm going to be doing, if you can't tell by the title, I'm going to be doing October 2024 Astrology and Horoscope. And I will be coming up later to do Truth Telling Tarot Tuesday. So I just came up with that. And yeah, so we're going to do that later. We're going to focus on that. And we're going to focus on astrology right now. So I have been seeing so much stuff happening. And it's leading up to this solar eclipse, and it's just so crazy. Like, it's really just making me like, oh my goodness, what's tea? What's going on? You know. So, just the energy that is giving right now, especially with Mars and Cancer, just to be very mindful of your surroundings, to be mindful of your energy and what your actions and stuff, because it will lead to some type of not catastrophic ending, but some type of um, just something to be mindful of, basically. Because well, as you can tell, it's certain things that are going on behind closed doors that are now touching the surface level things, but we don't really know what's going on 100%. We just know there's certain things that are happening in the cosmos that are trickling down into the universe and it's affecting us. So let's get right into the child. So today is October the 13th. If you have not watched my first through the 8th, or my first through the 12th, it's on my other video for October part 1. Go check that out. I would greatly appreciate it. Um, so today, it's crazy that I said this because I didn't even look at this paper. I haven't looked at this paper in a minute. But the first thing that is talked about on this paper for October the 13th is actually Mars being in Cancer. And Mars is actually in Cancer in 21 degrees. Now, Mars is moody in Cancer. It brings hot and cold energy and emotions. This Mars is unhappy in Cancer, which is causing anguish and other emotions to beat and run high. So in the eighth house, because Mars is in the eighth house is ruled by Scorpio or by Pluto. And that usually means death, transformation, rebirth, and stuff of that nature. In the house, eighth house could bring death, change, and transformation, like I said. And scientists, research, radio hosts, podcasters, videographers, anything dealing with that mass, like mass production or mass outreach, right? I think I already did the 13th, but I'm just gonna pick up where I left off. Okay. So we have that, and then it says also lawyers, researchers, medicine workers, that's like healthcare people, healthcare providers, RNs, nurses, doctors, laws and finances, detectives as well will be affected by this Mars and Cancer transit because Mars is more of a masculine energy, and those jobs are more manual, not manly, but like you have to have more manual labor. So it's going to be a lot of energy around uh, how you feel and what's the best for you in that moment. And is this the right place for you to be at this current time, wherever you're at? Because I'm really specifically picking up jobs because Mars is having a small aspect to Neptune and Pisces in retrograde. So um, look at that as like being like tired of the illusions and is weighing on like your subconscious or your emotions, and it's affecting your work life or it's affecting your home life and stuff like that. Maybe you're mentally not okay, you know, because I can attest to this. I am mentally having issues, kind of like I'm trying to get myself together so I can completely understand this transit. um, but this October the 13th though. So, but it's like if you prepare for it early on, you know, by the time this ends up happening, you can get the positive outcome of it, which is more being in tune with your emotions, understanding the hardship that you're having at work, and actually focusing on trying to, I'm not recording, and trying to focus on the things that create some type of I was gonna say revenue or stream of income because Pluto is in the second house right now, and that is wait, no, is that touching it? No, it's not. That's touching Jupiter, but that's besides the point. But I think right now we are focusing on how we acquire our assets and how we acquire our revenue and what is close to us, what we value the most, especially with Mercury entering Venus. I mean Mercury, damn it, especially Venus entering Scorpio. Venus is entering Scorpio, so it's creating some type of like focusing on things that are more, I would say, occultism or more, not even esoteric, but more, um, not horror. It could be horror, but it's more like dark themed or thriller energy, like very jump scare kind of stuff, you know, especially because October's coming and it's, I think this is October the 13th, which is on a Friday, if I'm not mistaken, this year. So it's going to be, you could, especially with the sun in Libra and all of that, Mercury in Libra and the South Node in Libra and Lilith in Libra, people could be trying to find their way away from like social fame and social status. I don't know why I'm specifically getting that. Well, I know I'm specifically getting that because the 11th house is about wishes, hopes, and dreams and aspirations, and it also depicts sometimes fan bases. And it could be that like you could see a major celebrity losing fans, or like I see that a lot right now. Like a lot of major, well-known celebrities are losing fans because of the decisions that they're making and because of the things that is being portrayed. And sometimes, and to me, it's not even just like people saying stuff, like people not saying something is actually affecting their career, like for some, you know. So just be on the lookout for that, be in tune for that. But what I was saying was the sun in Libra squares Mars in Cancer, bringing light on working hard with unnecessarily taking risks, trying to bring logic into the mind filled with emotions. And then I said Venus is in Scorpio at 24 degrees, trining Mars in Cancer at 21 degrees. It says bringing friends together, good time to reach out to those who you care about. Also says bring balance into your adventures. Now, this Scorp, if I'm not mistaken, hold on, because I'm really focused on this sun. Oh shoot, this sun trine by the sun trine by Jupiter in retrograde in Gemini, and that's at 21 degrees, if I'm not mistaken. It's definitely something along the lines of trying to be more strategic and thinking things through. And I think the sun is going to showcase that by creating some type of justice to balance something out. So it could be something along the lines, because it's in the seventh house. It could be that you're trying to do something with marriage, partnership, romances. Maybe somebody's birthday could be around this time in the month of October, so you could be trying to shout out to all my Scorpios and my Libras. You could be in the energy of trying to figure out what path to go on in regards to a certain partnership, a certain marriage. Now, this Mars in Cancer also, I believe, trines Neptune in Pisces at 24 degrees, bringing great fantasy, creativity, and idealism, showing off artistic talents, right? It says a very unorthodox or impractical aspect, bringing unconventional actions and outcomes. And then it says extremists, it's all or nothing. Okay, that's the type of mentality that it's having for the 13th. Like very cautious, very observant, very um, consisting of things that may not be there, illusions, like adding something to a story or not telling the full truth or something like that could be happening on the 13th. Like we don't know. It's a lot of illusions happening on this day. Let's see. Now, moving on to the days that I have not done. Moving on to the 15th. As you can see, on the 15th, because I was talking about Jupiter, I was preluding basically, or for, what is it? Foreshadowing what I wanted to talk about. So, with Jupiter in retrograde in Gemini at 21 degrees in the seventh house, will bring happiness, marriage, and partnership. It will bring a good time to focus on tasks that improve your talents and create perfect ambition to perfect your craft, right? Because I did say it could perfect your craft, but I wanted to say I messed it up a little bit because I feel like there's no such thing as perfect. It's just perfect to you, you know? It's never, because it's man made, nothing is ever, 100% like what is deemed perfect, because um, it's man made. I don't know how to explain that. And then it says could bring forward thinking or reevaluating Mercury ruled things, thinking, seeing, and feeling, like the five senses kind of energy, right? And then it says the Sun in Libra in the 11th house at 22 degrees, trines Jupiter in Gemini at 21 degrees in retrograde, bringing confidence and optimism. Great time for studying and gaining a new or clear perspective. Now, like I said, it could be talking about how to improve your relationships is right on the descendant. So how to get away from things that is hindering the relationship and moving towards things that like you're just reevaluating, because it's going to the descendant. It's not moving away. I thought it was moving away. It's because it's in retrograde right now. So it's moving toward the descendant instead of away from the descendant. excuse me. So it's like I think you have to be mindful of what you say and what you do when it comes to your partnerships and your relationships because it could have some type of friction going on, especially with that moon aspect to Jupiter and Pisces at the moment. So maybe you could jump to conclusions of you're living in like in a you're making up scenarios in your head because I did just see this ridiculous video on social media of this woman waking her man up in the middle of the night, asking him why he cheated on her in her dream. Now, sometimes those like having dreams like that could be significant, but it's just it's very interesting to see stuff like that happen in real time. Like, and then people wonder why they don't have consistent long-term relationships because people are too focused on what is it at this time because Pisces does rule fame and clout and like things to bring notoriety. So it's like you have to think of you can't bring those illusions in the family forefront because that can wedge a and bring friction into the relationship. It can absolutely do that. Now, if y'all met on social media, that's a unique situation, which could definitely happen with Uranus in aspects with the moon. Uranus is in Taurus right now, so that could definitely happen. But um, just be mindful of what you say and what you do in your relationships. Now, the moon in Pisces in the fourth house at 27 degrees squares Jupiter in retrograde in Gemini at 21 degrees. Um, Increase in spiritual conversion, integration, and consistent need to feel wanted or intimidated or intimate. Ooh, ooh, okay. Or intimate. Y'all know I'm a little dyslexic girl. And I'm a little dyslexic baby. So, my bad. Um, Now, moving on, Neptune in Pisces at 27 degrees in the fourth house, square Jupiter in the eighth house, in the seventh house. Moving. It's not in the eighth house, it's in the seventh house. It says changes slowly being trickled down because things are overlooked. Restless souls and tend to wander physically, mentally, or emotionally drained. Oh, restless souls and tend to wander physically, mentally, or drained emotionally. It says learning not to be naive or overthink with people being mean or nice to you, right? So that just means that you have to get into a situation where you don't overlook certain things. Like it could be something that you're overlooking here on the 15th. You could be on, like, say, for instance, you got a project for work, right? And on this project, you have to get A, B, C, and D. But in A, B, C, and D, you got to do four different categories for each, right? And in those four different categories, you got to say what, where, why, how. But on D, you miss the why and the how, and it comes up empty, and it has you like, well, oh dang it, I got to do this on a whim, right? And you gotta. I think the point is to remember what it is, the material that you're doing, or what it is that you're doing, so you don't have to um, overcompensate because you lost the note, or you lost the trail, or you forgot to insert this, or you forgot to do that, so just be on the lookout for overstepping and not seeing things clearly. Also, be sure to look out on checking on your emotions because a lot of people right now are very sensitive. But I think people need to stop reading so much into stuff because what I've realized is like somebody can take an inch. You can give somebody an inch and they take a mile, right? So just be mindful of overthinking. A lot of overthinking happening on this day. Um, it could be energy of okay, another thing is saying having to make a major sacrifice or having or hearing of such. So you could be hearing somebody around you or somebody on the media or a major celebrity in the media talking about having a sacrifice or a some type of, because there's a lot of like religious stuff going on right now. So it could be a lot of people trying to cover up the I want to say rituals, but I didn't want to say that. But basically, yeah, people want to cover up the things that they're doing behind closed doors, and it's a lot of like spooky and mysterious energy in October anyway. So just be on the lookout for that, child. Again, it says focusing on higher universal laws. So just things that are not just like, things like adultery. Like you're focused on that. Like you're focused on bigotry. Focused on things like you know people that are pedophilia or uh, arbiters and stuff like that. Like you're focused on things that are universally deemed as either moral or immoral, and trying to figure out whether you fit in or out of a box that agrees or disagrees with the general collective. And I think what we are starting to realize now is that there is a very in America we have all have very diverse thinking, because especially I'm gonna specifically speak about the more so the black community. A lot of people, like say for me for instance, because I am a transgender or a transgender woman, whichever one you want to call me, um, and it is like people would prefer to see me gone or me hurt or me injured than to see somebody who has sexually assaulted a woman or sexually assaulted a child or sexually assaulted, even sexually assaulted, because it's stuff like that happens in jail with men. So also that it happens outside and stuff. So I'm not gonna just put it specifically to the people in jail, but you also got to think about it like this: it's certain things that have for centuries and millennia that have been okay, and now we've gotten to a point in time where it's certain things that aren't okay, and certain things that were just not okay are now becoming okay. So you can see the shift that's happening in the collective, and you see the people, you see the division, you see where people who used to think a certain way that still think that way, and then there's some people that used to think a certain way that is now starting to integrate into the new way of thinking, and the people that are on the new way of thinking teaching the younger or even older people how to advance themselves to get to where they see progression in the general collective. So we have to think of things universally now, because it's a lot of division, it's a lot of confusion, and it's a lot of corruption, and I think that's the main reason why Pluto is in retrograde in Capricorn, and it's aspecting a lot of the planets and a lot of the other like infections, girl, please. A lot of the cosmic uh, factors of affecting the Earth. I'm gonna have to say that again. So, because I could not get that out, I was having like, but yeah. So the factors of the Earth also are being expected. A lot of them are being aspected by Pluto and Capricorn in retrograde at 29 degrees, right? And you got to just look at it like, child, if you don't change and you aren't the person that is trying to make change and trying to innovate, you will be left behind. One. And two, if you're the person that was making change in the past, that was to hinder people, you will be left behind. And that is just no shade, Buki. If you're not ready and willing to change, and so I want to say it, but I'm not going to, because that's not my willpower. That's not my wheelhouse, and that that is for the creator. Okay, that ain't for me. I ain't gonna say that. but opposes the ascendant in Sagittarius in the first house at 18 degrees. So it's saying that learning or rethinking moral laws like generosity, diet, or health. It says arrogance and violence are on a high. If y'all have, I've been around so much violence recently. It's so crazy. Like Mars is in Cancer, everybody's just willy nilly right now. Everybody's thinking with their emotions and not thinking logically, just going off whim with it. And especially on the 15th, it's a lot of crazy and confusion and confuzzlement happening. It says um, an odd food conversation could be happening, or an odd conversation about big women or specifically black women. I did just see a obesity commercial, not commercial. It was like an ad on social media, and somebody put like a quote on X and basically said, "Oh, now look at the USA in the 1990s, and now look at the USA. They're like empowering obesity." A lot of people can't don't want to go under the knife and change who they are. Like some people want to just be authentically them. Some people don't want to look like the Kim Kardashians. Some people don't want to look like no shade to her. Some people just don't want to have to, every 5 business days change their whole physique because they want to be deemed as a sex symbol or deemed as someone that will be looked at by their body for the rest of their life. Don't know everybody don't want to do that. No shade to Miss Girl. No shade to Miss Thing. Simply saying people don't want to live up to that standard for the rest of their life. She's gonna have to, like she said she got like 8 to 10 more years in the limelight to be a symbol of beauty and sex, and that's all she has. Because why? I'm not gonna really say what she really do because we all know what she really do. But ageism is a very huge thing in not even just the music industry. It's a huge thing in the industries period. Like we're always looking for something, well, they're always looking for something new because money talks, right? So just be on the lookout for that. Let's see this. This. Damn. Okay, here's the 17th of October. And we have a full lunar moon in eclipse at 27 in Aries, peaking at 24 degrees at its height, I guess you can say, emphasizing endings and bringing an ending to those who want to trailblaze in some way and create new beginnings, right? Because like I said, what the title for today is the beginning of the end, but the whole month for me really is before creation comes destruction. Like that's really all October really gives me, honestly. And then it says bringing self identity energy, highlighting areas, dealing with emotional trauma, healing music and creativity, looking down on security may be important at this time. Oh, locking down on security may be important at this time. Unsuitable relationships could be important with this full lunar moon eclipse in Aries. It says the sun in Libra at 24 degrees in the 11th house opposed the moon in Aries, bringing conflict with individuality and ego. Can cause a sex war. So it could be, how people become sexist and ageist, basically. So we could be talking about people being ageist and having ageism and sex wars, with it being like, Oh, but men are horrible. But no, women are horrible. How about both of y'all fucking suck and let's get over it and let's move on and evolve and stop being so asinine, please and thank you. Now with the moon in Aries opposing Mercury in Scorpio in the 12th house at 6 degrees. This could talk about revenge from a previous betrayal that will be because of something that happened this past few years or the decade because it squares Pluto at that time as well. And then it says biased thinking, becoming unenthusiastic and exhausted. I don't even know if unenthusiastic is a word. I think it's just exhausted. Becoming exhausted. Um, it also brings gossip, but problems with memory. Using intellect to deceive others and lying. It says believing their truths of certain exaggeration. It says the moon squares Mars and Cancer at 23 degrees. Tension between ruthlessness, indecisiveness, and indecision. Loving conflicts and winning them, right? Meaning like, oh, you think you want to rap battle with me? Oh, and I'm a battle rapper. Oh, that's up for you type deal. Or like you going to a baking show and you got your own baking company. Oh, that's up for you. You know what I'm saying? And then it says the moon will square Pluto in Capricorn at 29 degrees, evoking deep feelings for something happening on this day. So it could be some type of passing or some type of death on the 17th that affects a big mainstream of people, the collective of people. Could be somebody that was very significant during the Pluto and Capricorn season. So that is from 2008 to 2022. We can see a major celebrity getting into it with maybe someone behind closed doors, and that's finally coming out. Who knows? Because I haven't seen a lot of that, like a lot of shady tweets, a lot of shady remarks and stuff. And then it says situations that are profound are ending up happening, right? And revealed. It says having trouble, look, or insecure with certain features of the body or facial features of the body because it could be talking about, like I said, cosmetic surgery. It could be talking about body shape, body ways. That could be significant between the 15th through the 17th, like body. Like maybe you could be focusing on your health and your healing. Now, for me, I wanted to talk about. I just wanted to look at this day, but I'm gonna do it last. Well, no, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it now. No, I'm gonna do it last, like I thought. And so today we're going to do the 26th, right? Because we just did the 17th. We're going to stick to the 26th. And on the 26th, Uranus is in retrograde in Taurus at 26 degrees, catch the 26. In the sixth house, it says sudden changes in property or finances, sudden but effective changes in tradition. Because what was I just talking about a couple days prior? Some type of change in like the culture is going to happen on the 17th. Still is still affecting come the 26th is what I'm the point that I was trying to make. Right? And then it says not consistent but creates um not consistent creatives. That's what I meant to say. It says sudden changes in employment, prices, food, and diet. It says also squares the moon in Virgo. This could mean coming out to those who feel like they have been wrong and want to change the feeling of loss from a situation. So this is, like I said, a lot of vengeful energy because of betrayal has been happening. So you will see a lot of people trying to go out and whatever it is they got going on because they don't want to feel like they've lost a battle or lost the situation, I guess. And it says also not good with family life during this day. Reach out. Like I said, this is very, I don't know why, like this whole month is very important about reaching out to family, reaching out to loved ones, reaching out to those you care about, because you never know, because tomorrow is never promised, right? And then it says individualism or individualistic. And it says explosive emotions, emotional vulnerability. It says opposes, so Uranus opposes Mercury in Scorpio in the 12th house at 19 degrees. Extreme views and a need for independence, views that will be eventually um, generally accepted, but will be reluctant to accept it at first. And then it says curious and intellectual ideas and people, certain certain activities is often chaotic and rebellious, right? So with the Mercury opposing Uranus and Taurus is very rebellious energy, very honestly, it's what degree is it in? 19 is ruled by Capricorn, so wanting to be on top, wanting to be the one that stands out. Like it's like don't tell me what to do energy, because I'll do just the opposite, just to piss you off and not have to deal with your BS. And that's the energy that I'm getting for the 26th. Let's see. It says sextile Mars in Cancer at 26 degrees in the ninth house. It says inclination to unusual interests. So this could be like the Antichrist dilemma or extremist political movements happening. So we could see another situation where it's like a march on like marches happening on that day. But I was specifically getting on January the 6th, they had that little march, or not a march, that wasn't a march. It was they bombarded the U.S. Congress, or they bombarded the White House, one of those, and it was because Trump didn't want to come out of the White House, basically. And so it says could bring significant improvement in research, engineering, construction, agriculture, and other man-made free of natural resources. So it's things that don't really include, I guess, of natural resources. Like they have to get the natural resource, I guess. And then it says novel techniques, because my handwriting is happening. It says sextile to Neptune and Pisces in the fourth house at 27 degrees. It says want to live a meaningful life but would lack motivation or the use of tunnel vision. Creating innovation and individuality. And it also says trine Pluto in the second house at 29 degrees in Capricorn, bringing help to move up financially. Good time to invest in long-term antiques or assets. Good time for researching projects and affecting a wide margin or a wide majority of people with subconscious detailing, meaning like something is going to be on the subconscious mind of a general mass collective of people at this time that is going to give, or on the 26th of October, that it's going to be still affected because of that whole solar eclipse in Aries that happened the day on the 17th, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And so because we talked about that, hold on. Because we talked about that, let's see. So this day is very interesting, which is the 25th. Now, I just wanted to skim this one because I was seeing a lot of stuff on TikTok about people saying that it was a possibility that a rapper, a major, well-known rapper, I would have understood if it was a not well-known rapper, but they said a well-known rapper was going to come out or a well-known artist is going to come out and basically say that they fake their own death, right? Or that something major, I can see something major happening on the 25th because it's a lot of stuff happening between the 17th and the 26th. So I could definitely see something being uncovered on that time or around that time to give us something to talk about for the next 7 to 10 business days. But I think it's not going to be something like that. Now, it could be, but because you never know, because Uranus is in Taurus right now in the sixth house and is actually trining Mars in Cancer. So if it's not a person that they thought it's going to, if it does, it's going to bring a lot of emotions. It's going, whatever happens on the 25th will bring a lot of emotions because uh, it's still affecting it's still affecting the 26th because we just read the 26th. That's why I did it like that to show you when I go back and watch even to show that basically it's getting better, but it's also you're starting to see more of the stuff being uncovered. And like I said before, creation comes destruction. So yeah, it's gonna look like bad is happening, but that's because we're in the eye of the storm and we're looking around us and everything else is getting destroyed, but we're still here, you know? Even though the eye of the storm is not the calmest place to be, it's the calmest place of the storm. So you got to think of that. I think with Leo, it could definitely signify, with it being at 17 degrees, it could signify some type of like because this the moon is in Leo, so it could signify some type of major change or some type of education situation happening. Like I don't want to say this, but be careful of gun shootings on the 25th of October for schools. Definitely with Mercury and Scorpio, it's a lot of energy around death and rebirth or subconscious thinking or overthinking with the subconscious. And it's giving like with that Saturn and yeah, it's giving like just be on the lookout for your children at this time. That's the only thing I can really see. I don't really see nobody. I see a major celebrity coming out and saying something or something being said about a major celebrity. I see that, and I also see some type of situation happening with the school system on the 25th of October. But I don't really see any. I don't really see anything where it would say any aspects that would say it would be a person that is coming from the dead to say that they faked their death or some shit like that. But I do see with the Mars and Cancer, it could be a unique situation in regards to that's the 26th. They're actually both at 26 degrees, which is very ironic. So it could be something with death or change happening. I do see a lot of death and change happening on this day, on the 25th. There's a lot of eights on this day, so just be on the lookout because I do see a lot of death happening. But especially because it's about to be Scorpio season on the 20th. Well, it's Scorpio season on the 25th. So just be on the lookout. It's going to be the beginning, it's going to be shocking, child. But yes, you guys, that's all I really have for you guys. I just want to say, let me give me some drink, child. I just want to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to me and listening, child. I greatly appreciate it. Just I'm gonna snippet this and fix it so you guys can get the information and won't have to watch the full video because I do stutter and I do slip over and and stumble over my words. So I try my best to get the snippets in the videos for you guys as much as I possibly can. But I just want to say, be blessed, not stressed. Forget the rest. I gotta go. I love you guys so much. Bye bye.